No, I believe it because I've seen it happen. Because it's happened to me. You know, I'm just a son of a government worker and a school teacher. I had no silver spoon in my mouth when I was born, right? I had to go out there and figure out, you know, how to do it, how to make things happen, and that's where I found new skins. So anyway, that's what happened. All right. So anyway, let's move on to these principles right here for a second. Let's talk about duplication in more detail, edification, respecting cross lines, and coaching. Let's do those really quickly if we can. We've got what, another 10 minutes?
Yeah.
Something like that? Okay. Let me just cover these quickly. We've done a bit on duplication, but I want you to understand something, all right? To grow a business, you can either do addition or you can do multiplication. And if I have 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10, that's 50, right? But if I can do 10 times 10 times 10 times 10 times 10, that's 100,000. It's a lot more difference if I can multiply instead of just do addition, okay? And so if you're a motivated person, you know, you got goals and everything and you're driven, that's individual efficiency. If I can teach a system to a group of people, then I can multiply. Instead of just doing one by one addition, I can do multiplication. And that's the power of network marketing. It's a simple little analogy, but you need to think about it a little bit. And ask yourself the question, is everything I'm doing duplicable or duplicatable? Depends which country you're in as to what the proper word is, right? Okay, so you have to ask yourself the question. And it comes down to really little things even, right? We just had this conversation over here in this part of the room about, you know, what kinds of packages and how would we sponsor somebody. And you might not think that's that big of a deal, but it really does become a big deal when you start to multiply. When a group starts to grow really fast, it's the blind leading the blind. They're brand new just like you are. Nobody really knows what they're doing. That's why you have to have a system to follow. That people can just plug into a system and kind of run with those principles, right? Because then you can start to get that multiplication to occur. It comes down to things as simple as if you do an in-home presentation and you're inviting 5 or 10 friends over to your home. Some people, I've heard them say this, they've gone to somebody's home for a presentation and the person's, you know, wanting to treat everybody nice, so they serve, you know, biscuits and cookies and maybe wine, and the person has a nice evening with, you know, 5 or 10 people. But one of those people who goes there says to themselves, that's why she can be successful, because she can afford to serve wine at her in-home. You know, I can't afford to do it, so there's no way I could make it in this company. I mean, even that simple. People will look at every single thing you do, and they will worry about whether they can do it or not. Okay? You know, can I afford to buy an ad during the Super Bowl? Yeah, I can. I could actually pay $1 million or two for an advertisement of 15 seconds during the Super Bowl. And I know that I'm going to get 1 billion people to watch it. So average response rates are about 1%, maybe 1/10 of 1% on a Super Bowl ad. So, you know, 1 billion would be 100 million, 1% would be 10 million, 1/10 of 1% would be 1 million phone calls. If I got 1/10 of 1% response. Let's say I put up a sign, an ad, and it had maybe a before and after about age lock, and I said, you know, we're the anti-aging company, call Nathan Ricks or email me at this address, or go to my website. I might get 1 million responses. I could definitely find some lockers in that, couldn't I? Sure I could, if I took my time to talk to all 1 million of them, right? That would work for me. Okay, I could duplicate with that, I would grow. The question is not, does it work? The question is it duplicable? Can you buy an ad in the Super Bowl? Could you buy an ad? No, can't do it. So there's no way. They'll look at me and go, well, he can be successful because he can buy the ad, but I can't afford to buy the ad, so I can't be successful in the business, right? And that actually wouldn't work for me either. How would I get back to 1 million people? I'd waste all those leads anyway, wouldn't I? So what we do, everything we do, we have to say, is it duplicable? Can somebody else do it? That's why we have a system. So we just all do the same thing. Do you realize that it doesn't even matter what the package is, as long as we all just talk about the same package? But some people, they've got an ego and they go, well, I don't like his package. I'm going to do my package. Okay, that's ridiculous. Okay, the objective is to duplicate, not to, massage your ego. Okay, so what happens is the leaders get together in the area, all the top team elites, and they talk. And they decide which package is most appropriate for all of Western Europe, okay? And they come up with a package, and you have a package for your market, and Denmark has one for theirs, and Germany has one for theirs, and so forth, right? And if you guys know that the system works like this, then you all know that there's a 1,000-point package in Germany. And so now if you have people in Germany you're working with, it's simple for you to work with them, isn't it? Because you understand what the system is. And you understand that if you send them to a fast start training, they'll probably hear this little 7 steps right here, instead of somebody else who developed 12 steps because, they were better than you. Or their ego was messed up more than yours. Right? It doesn't matter. All these little individual nuances that people inject just screw up the systems, right? They slow down the duplication, and they hurt everybody in trying to build the business. So get rid of your ego. Park your ego at the door when you come into New Skin. Be coachable. Be teachable. Be willing just to listen to people that have gone before you that know how it works. And that's why I tell people, look, just make your first million our way. Okay? Make your first million our way. After that, you can do whatever you want, but you'll probably just do the system because you'll see how it works. Don't try to reinvent the wheel. Don't come up with a new PowerPoint because you know how to present this better than they do. Don't come up with a new training. Okay? It's all done. Everything's done. Just plug into the system. Just use the things that we already have here. All right? So that'll help you duplicate. What's edification?